What do you want me to say, man? It's just Link, the adventurer from Hyrule who's always tearing shit up, throwing boomerangs and bombs, talking to fairies. Really makes my life seem kind of boring. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email. That's right here. But today, we're going to talk about Alex Jackson's mixtape called the LINKStape. Now, Alex is an MC from out of Kent, Ohio, and last year I actually reviewed an EP of his called About the Fall. It was very smooth and jazzy with this whole concept about what it's like to be in love during autumn. So make sure you check out that review as well as that project. And to check out this project and his other music, you already know, man. Just take a look at the information box I got for you underneath this video. Now, the best thing about this project to me, or at least one of the best things, would definitely have to be the production. On the track Continuum, you're going to get a sample from D'Angelo's track Brown Sugar with a nice little guitar jam on the end of it. And then we have this little interlude that actually borrows from Mindsign's song called Camel Blues. So I really appreciate these nods to these classic little tracks that are very smooth and jazzy. And it's pretty much the same type of production style that you get throughout most of this mixtape. It stays very mellow and calm throughout, and there aren't really any beats that are going to hit you in your head and be trappish, jarring, or overly loud. Now, another thing that I would say is a strength here would have to be Alex's hooks, because he does have a very unique vocal style when he sings, and I do like the way that he's layering his vocals on top of each other. Although, to be fair, there are some instances where I feel like the mixing and mastering could have been tightened a bit. Not just on his singing layers, because at times they feel a bit off, but also throughout this whole tape, because it definitely doesn't have that crisp and clear professional sound, and that would be one of the little minor gripes that I have. But coming back to these hooks that I really appreciate, I like what he was doing on Cloud 9000, has some very wavy vocals on there that match up perfectly with the soft string production. And then on the track Starry Nights, we get another nice and smooth hook, as well as some production that has this very nostalgic boom bap feel to it. It really matches nicely with the content, as him and Cortex are just spitting bars about blazing and stargazing. Kind of takes you back to those days when you were just a teenager, you didn't have a whole lot of worries, and you were just chilling. At least if you're old like me, or maybe if you are a teenager, you can relate to this shit right now because you might be going through it. I just think it had a very cool vibe, and that track, along with Cloud 9000, are easily two of my favorites on here. I also need to mention that Alex has this very fun sense of humor. This whole project, for the most part, is just very light, nothing too serious. And you'll hear this right away on the opening track, the Linkstro, where he's actually doing some imitations. You're going to hear some Wheezy-esque giggles. And he spits this bar about his love for pussy and PS3 and how he's unable to upgrade. Maybe talking about the pussy and the PS3 since the PS4 is out there. But hey, man, either way, I'm not hating. You can still get some play out of that damn PS3. There was also some good humor on the track Like a Queen, which starts off with this funny little reference to Smash Mouth and that old song about being in love and fairy tales. I forget the exact lyric. You'll know it when you hear it. That shit just made me kind of laugh because, hey, it's Smash Mouth, man. I don't really know any Smash Mouth fans, but we all know all their goddamn songs. But this track right here, I mean, it's not too great. It really is just sort of your run-of-the-mill love track. And I did think that verse from Casey was a little bit monotone and dull. It was easily the worst moment on this project, I would say. Not to be harsh, just keeping it real. So this kind of made that my least favorite track. But another thing that I really didn't care for too much on this project, or maybe something I should say that held it back a little bit, is the lack of interesting content or concepts. I mean, for the most part, you're just going to get some very light musings on life and love with some fun bars sprinkled throughout, so that's all good. But when you take that and then you hear Alex's rap style, which isn't really anything out of the ordinary, it does get a little bit dull at times. Not to say this is a bad project. I mean, I think it's all right for what it is. It's pretty average, but there just weren't a lot of moments that really grabbed me. I did appreciate on Patience, though, where he's just advising us not to get caught up in all the little things because life has been known to throw those pump fakes. Just thought that was a very cool line and interesting way of saying to not sweat the small things. But again, there isn't really anything here that's way too deep. Like, I didn't hear a lot of profound moments or anything like that. So this is still a pretty solid tape. I do have a couple of gripes. I mentioned the mixing and mastering could be better. I think the content could maybe be a little bit deeper. Just bringing some more depth would make this stick out a bit. And again, the rap style isn't anything that's too outstanding. I think he does have a nice flow. He is getting fun and light throughout this project. But you know what? It just needs some polishing, which is why I would give this one a 2.5 out of 5. It's just kind of average. And I think what made his last EP stick out was that concept. There was also some other interesting things going on with the production. I remember one track where the beat was actually made up of the sounds of spoons clinking on cups, something along those lines. There were just some more interesting moments on that EP. It was also shorter, so I guess maybe some of these things just stuck out a bit more. But I would still say check this out, man. It's pretty fun, it's nice and mellow, nothing too serious, so I definitely think you'd be able to vibe with it. But I would love to hear Alex get some studio quality, just get that shit mixed and mastered tightly. I really think his vocals would sound better, not just with his rapping, but with his singing, because I think he has a very cool singing style on some of these hooks. But that's it for me, man. That's all I have to say about this one. You guys can check it out for yourself and then hit me up in the comments section. And make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, man. You already know by now. Click like on the videos, share them, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, da-da-da-da-da. Click like on the Facebook page. You already know, man. I've been saying the same thing for like years now. So, you know what? Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting the channel. And I will see you next time.